If I could call the meeting to order and ask for a roll call.
Blunier. Here. Hilliard. Here. Leach.
Here.
Mennel.
Here.
Newman. Parrott.
Here.
We have a quorum.
If you could all join me in pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
There is no public hearings tonight or presentations, but the consent agenda, we have the approval of the minutes, the regular meeting December 18th, 2023, and the approval of the bills. If we could have a motion.
We'll move to approve. Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Blunier.
Yes.
Hilliard.
Yes.
Leach.
Yes.
Mennel.
Yes.
Parrott.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Is there anyone that would like to make public comment on anything to the trustees here tonight? Before we go into the rest. If not, tonight we do have some swearing in of some new officers for the village of Morton. We have the swearing in of our new police chief, Sean Darce, our new deputy police chief, Steve Brock, and our new sergeant, Aaron Rowe. So we will start off with our new police chief, Sean Darce. You can meet us at the podium. I'd like to introduce our new police chief, Sean Darce. He's been our deputy for the last 3.5 years, and it's been a privilege to work with him. So I think he has a few words to say, and he's been with us since he was 19 years old, I believe.
That's correct.
So,
Thank you. All right. First of all, say thank you, Your Honor, for the opportunity. Thank you to the trustees. So I was thinking about what I wanted to say tonight, and I was thinking the former police chief, Jason Miller, he's let it be known for quite a while that he was going to retire, and so I was kind of reflecting on that. And I was watching the World Series, and the World Series had ended and the Texas Rangers had won, and Derek Jeter, the great Yankee shortstop, was interviewing Bruce Bochy, the manager of the Texas Rangers. And he said, hey, Skip, he said, why is it that all of your players come up here tonight and all they want to talk about is the team and what it takes to win? No one wanted to talk about themselves. And why is that? And he said, well, you know, he said, that's what it takes to win championships. And I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about all my years at the police department, past, present, and future, and I thought, you know, that's a great analogy just for how you live your life, not just for a sports team in general, and that's a good analogy for how you run a successful organization. And as I look out here tonight at all the men and women that I've worked with for so many years, that's really how I feel about the Morton Police Department and about the current people that we have at the police department. I've been the deputy chief for about 3 years, and I can't even count on one hand how many times anybody's come into my office and led with the word I. It was always, you know, the organization or what can we do, and you know, when you have a team of people like that that you work day in and day out with, it just makes your job a whole lot easier. And so I just thought that was a great analogy, and I wanted to share that with everybody. With that being said, you know, I want to thank former police chief Nick Graff. He's there in the back. Took a chance on me as a 19-year-old kid. I was a dispatcher for him for a number of years, and then I got hired as an officer. I'll forever be grateful for that, so I appreciate that. Former police chief Craig Hilliard, again, worked together since the very first day at the police department. Still continue, you know, having a relationship now, a different relationship than we had in the past, but one that I still value. And then, like I mentioned before, former police chief Jason Miller. He couldn't be here tonight. He's off enjoying his retirement in sunny Florida. So, and I don't blame him. I want to thank my family, thank my parents. They're both here tonight. You know, just for all the morals and values that they instilled in me, hard work, integrity, honesty, things that make a successful police officer. Hopefully I've made them proud. They've made me proud. My current family, my wife, my children. It's why I do the job that I do, right? I want to be a role model to them always, and I hope that I've been able to fulfill that role. Thanks to friends, some new, some old, and thanks to coworkers. Again, like I said before, makes my job easy, makes me look good. When they succeed, I succeed, right? So with that being said, we do have a couple other promotions tonight, which I'm very looking forward to. We'll be promoting deputy chief and a new sergeant here shortly. So thank you to everybody that came. Thank you again for the opportunity. I appreciate it. So I look forward to serving.
Y'all need to sign this, Sean.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Sean Darsh,
I, Sean Darsh,
having been appointed to the office of police chief for the village of Morton, county of Tazewell, state of Illinois, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the state of Illinois, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of chief of police to the best of my ability. Congratulations.
Thank you. Okay. All right, Steve, you want to step up here? Okay. Steve Brock, he's a 25-year member of the police department, and tonight I get the honor of swearing him in as deputy chief. Steve is a 1997 graduate of Western Illinois University with a bachelor's degree in law enforcement and criminal justice. He's a graduate of the Illinois State Police Academy and a 2022 graduate of Northwestern School of Police Staff and Command. He joined the Morton Police Department in July of 1999. He's served in a number of capacities, including patrolman, FTO, detective sergeant. He's also been part of the Police Pension Board and a union representative with the police union. Steve is married to his wife, Sally, and together they have 5 children.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Stephen Brock,
I, Stephen Brock,
having been appointed
to the office
of Deputy Police Chief for the Village of Morton, County of Tazewell, State of Illinois, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Illinois, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Deputy Police Chief to the best of my ability. Congratulations.
Thanks, sir.
All right. Aaron Rowe. Tonight, Aaron Rowe will be appointed to the position of sergeant. Aaron's a 5-year member of the police department, having served for 6 years prior with the Normal, Illinois Police Department. Aaron's a veteran of the United States Army, where he honorably served for 8 years, including 2 deployments. He's a graduate of the Illinois State Police Academy also, and he has an associate's degree from Lincoln Land Community College. Aaron's married to his wife Becky, with whom he has 2 children, and they reside in Morton.
Ready? Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Aaron Rowe,
I, Aaron Rowe,
having been appointed to the position of Patrol Sergeant for the Village of Morton, County of Tazewell, State of Illinois, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Illinois, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the position of Patrol Sergeant to the best of my ability. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And the really interesting thing about Morton, Illinois, again, we moved everybody up that's within the force. So I think over the years, starting way back with Nick, the police chiefs have trained the sergeants, the police officers, the sergeants, the deputy chiefs, and the chiefs, that we can grow. So let's hope we can continue that. We don't have to interview other people and teach them the Morton culture. We do things here special. The Tazewell County prosecutor for years in Tazewell County told me, Jeff, there's something about the way you guys treat your police force and the training, and don't change the culture. Because by the time it gets to my desk, 98% of the time or better, the paperwork is perfect. We go in and we get convictions. And I don't have to redo. I can go straight to Morton cases and win every time. So thank all of you for serving Morton, and you do a fine job. We're not trying to rush you out, but if you want to leave, feel free. We have a meeting to run, but okay, village clerk,
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
village administrator.
I have one item tonight, Your Honor. It's ordinance 24-22, which is an ordinance amending Title 3, Chapter 8, Section 6 of the Morton Municipal Code regarding the number of liquor licenses.
We could have a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
Just briefly, this license change is for Class A2. We're going from 3 licenses to 4. That will be for the Best Western Hotel. We'll be selling beer and wine behind the counter at Best Western. And then Class B2 and Class E will go from 11 to 10 and from 9 to 10, or from 10 to 11 and 9 to 10. This is for the restaurant that's taking the old Unum location out on Jefferson.
Okay, is there any questions? Call the roll.
Parrott?
Yes.
Mennel?
Yes.
Leach?
Yes.
Hilliard?
Yes.
Blunier?
Yes.
Motion carries.
That's all I have tonight.
Okay. Chief of Police,
Nothing else tonight, Your Honor.
congratulations to all of you. And again, thanks for your service. Corporation Counsel.
I have a few items tonight, Your Honor. The first is an ordinance making amendments to Section 1-4-1 of the Morton Municipal Code regarding ordinance violation fines.
If we could have a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
This ordinance affects a $100 essentially bump in the minimum fine for ordinances which are penalized under our general penalty provision in the instance where individuals fail to appear at court. Our ordinance violations prosecuted through Tazewell County often result in judgments near the bottom of our fine range, but in the instances where individuals fail to appear, it seems appropriate to have a higher punitive effect for those than the people who do bother to take the time and appear and deal with court situation directly. It's not dissimilar for how petty traffic cases are resolved as well. In addition, the minimum fine currently under your code is $50. That hasn't been revised in 25 years nearly, and so this ordinance would increase that minimum fine to $150. Since the ordinance, the minimum fine was last revised, court costs have been reduced substantially, so it actually costs individuals far less now than it would have even in 1999 when you last revised this, even at a $150 fine.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Hilliard?
Yes.
Leach?
Yes.
Blunier?
Yes.
Parrot?
Yes.
Mennel?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next item I have is an ordinance making amendments to section 6-9-6 of the Morton Municipal Code regarding fines for tobacco-related offenses.
We have a motion.
I move to approve. Second.
Go ahead.
This ordinance increases the fine, it changes fundamentally the fine structure for tobacco tickets. We have, as I'm sure other schools do, a substantial volume of e-cigarette and tobacco-related offenses for minors. Our current fine structure is a $25 fixed fine for a first offense, whether you show up or don't show up in court. There's no fine range. Second offense is 50, third is 75. That's atypical. Most municipal ordinance violations have a range of penalty that can be imposed. So the revised ordinance fine structure would create a range of 75 to 250 for the first offense, 100 to 300 for a second, and 150 to 350 for a third. I think those changes are appropriate in light of the volume of those types of tickets we're seeing, and also allowing me greater ability as a prosecutor to fashion plea offers and punitive sanctions for those charges in a way that's reflective of the circumstances.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Blunier?
Yes.
Hilliard?
Yes.
Leach?
Yes.
Mennel?
Yes.
Parrot?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Director and Fire Emergencies.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have an ordinance tonight regarding charging a fee for lift assist. Maybe if council would like to give the specifics of that, and I'd be happy to answer any questions then.
Okay, could we have a motion?
I move to approve. Second.
Okay.
The ordinance as proposed would create a structure to impose lift assist fees against assisted living facilities and nursing care facilities when we have an instance where we have to respond to lift assist calls. In working with the chief and his staff, there is a significant issue where we dedicate substantial volume of our fire personnel and paramedics time to respond to lift assist calls. The city of East Peoria has adopted a lift assist fee structure and have had some success in the structure they've imposed. And so we've mirrored the structure that East Peoria has implemented and propose to do that for the Morton Fire Department response as well. The hope is that this will provide an incentive for assisted living and nursing home facilities to adequately staff themselves so they don't rely on Morton paramedics as supplemental on-call staff for them. I would recommend a motion, if I may. There is a typographical issue which Chief Kelly caught in preparation for tonight's meeting. In section 581, paragraph D, as I said, we patterned East Peoria's. There's one place where it says East Peoria Fire Department where it should say Morton. So if I could have a motion to amend the ordinance approval to make a change in 581D from East Peoria to Morton.
I move to make that change to 581D from East Peoria to Morton.
Second.
So procedurally, we vote on the amendment first and then approve the amended ordinance second.
All right, is there any questions?
Well, I got the amendment first, but I have problems with the ordinance itself.
Okay.
So where do we want to go? You want me to discuss my problems?
If the mayor would entertain it, you
That's
can
fine.
have one discussion on all issues.
I'm okay with the amendment to Morton. My problem is charging our citizens $75 to aid them. That's a public service that we do. I may look different since that's the profession that I was in, but I think it's a crock for us to bill an elderly couple because one of them can't lift the other and we're going to respond to their house. I know we discussed at the onset that this is about nursing homes, but that's not the only thing being billed. In section 582B boy, it specifically says those that are not in a nursing home, we're going to bill them $75, and we're going to be so gracious to waive that if we transport them and bill them for transportation to the hospital. I don't think that that's a justice to give to our citizens.
Okay, does anyone else have anything to say?
Thanks for bringing that up, Craig, and I had the same feeling. I really feel like that should not be in there. And I've done plenty of that myself, and personally, and I get it, we have other things to do, but I just think that shouldn't be in there. It's a clear different situation. It's not anybody taking advantage of the staff we have, and it's people needing help, and we help people all the time, and that's something that should not be in there.
So can I ask corporate counsel if we want to make another motion to amend it by striking paragraph B under 582, do we need to vote on the first thing going from Morton, East Peoria, and then make a motion to change this ordinance?
Well, I think you could take that as a suggested friendly amendment, and if the person who made the motion that's already on the table to make the change to 581D, which I believe was yourself, and the person who seconded would consent, you could amend that motion to make two changes to the ordinance. One is the change to 581D. The second would be to strike B from 582.
I make that motion to strike 582B from the ordinance as presented to us, as well as making the change from East Peoria to Morton under 581D. I consent to that as the second.
Okay, and we need to vote on that one.
Correct, and that would be to amend the ordinance or to amend the underlying action, and then you'll vote again on the ordinance.
Your Honor, could I give a comment before you do that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to give some insight into a little bit of the distinction there. We can certainly live with the amended motion, and that's fine. Kind of the target group that, and the intention of that is not necessarily for people that have fallen and need help getting up, but we are called sometimes to take people to the bathroom and those types of things, or lift them up from their wheelchair into their bed where they're not injured, and at no point were they ever at risk of being injured. So I just wanted to make a distinction that that is kind of the target group that we had in mind when we were looking at that.
And going along with that, I think we need to maybe see if we can modify it so that it specifically says things like that.
Sure.
So I would vote on this, the way it's amended, and then vote on it, but then come back with another ordinance which
Would address
further
that group?
defines those issues.
Okay. All right, so we'll vote on the amendment here to delete this.
I'm not sure we can cover, I'm not sure we can dial it down that tight. I mean,
I'm not sure either, Trustee Milne, but I think we need to get this ordinance in place. We've removed B.
Right.
And so then we can
Yes.
see, can we do that?
We'll just have to see what the chief comes up with.
I mean, coming, fine details are probably not where they belong in. They don't belong in those things. So I agree.
Okay, ready to vote? Ask for a roll call.
Blunier,
Yes.
Hilliard,
Yes.
Leach,
Yes.
Mennel,
Yes.
Parrot.
Yes.
The amendment carries.
Your Honor, can I ask a question?
Yes?
Either to the council or fire chief. Do you have an estimate of, based on the number of average calls per year, how much this will help your budget in its entirety as it is now?
To put it a little bit in perspective, again, the purpose of the ordinance is mainly for the nursing facilities that provide care. Last year, to just those facilities, we responded to 363 calls. That represents about 10% of our total call volume. And of that, we did not transport 112 of those 363. So roughly a third of those calls were for people that were uninjured and just needed lifting assistance.
Okay, thanks.
Chief, have you checked with the nursing home staff, their directors, to find out what their protocol is and why is it that they call us? Do they not have the adequate training, or?
Their protocol is to avert risk, and if they, my understanding of their protocol is that they just don't pick anyone up off the floor. So, you know, and in some cases, again, I want to make a distinction between people who are injured. That's not at all the people we're talking about. But people who are not injured, that say that they don't want to go to the hospital, that say that they're not injured, and say, someone just help me up. There's oftentimes people, there'll be adequate staff there to do it. They call us, we lift them up, and they walk to the cafeteria to go get dinner. So, you know, again, I don't want to make it sound like these might be injured people. They're not.
And you have to realize that by doing this, they're moving the liability of injury from their employees who are paid by a corporation to the taxpayers, where if our paramedic gets a strained back or whatever by helping lift with the lift assist, then that's our work comp that's paying for it, not theirs.
It needs to be dealt with in the right way, but it needs to be dealt with.
Okay, we ready for the next one? Why don't you tell them what the
I
vote?
think we have to vote on the
The ordinance.
I wanted you to tell them what we're voting on, so everybody's clear.
So the amendment passed. With the amendment, we made the typographical change in 581D, and then 582B was stricken. So you'd be adopting the ordinance with the exclusion of the $75 fee for lift assist not on the grounds of an assisted living facility or nursing care facility.
Okay, call the roll.
Parrot,
Yes.
Menold,
Yes.
Leach,
Yes.
Hilliard,
Yes.
Blunier.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, thank you.
That's all I have tonight.
And then you'll come back with something else?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Director of Public Works.
Yeah, in front of you tonight for approval is a resolution approving amendment to personnel handbook regarding stipend pay for certified operators.
Move to approve.
Second.
Can you explain?
Yeah, I think I've communicated with, or I know I have communicated with all of you on this, provided some information for review and comment, and then also set some additional information in front of you tonight. But stipend pay for our certified operators in our gas, water, and sewer departments was implemented in 2012 with the salary study. So with this proposal, this would amend it and increase the pay for our certified operators. I think it's important that we continue to incentivize these positions, especially the certification with it. We want all of our guys to get certified in those departments. I think what we heard even tonight, we use those things to promote within, especially with the EPA. They're harder to come by every year. We're fortunate to have some, multiple in our departments, but this will further incentivize that and also put their pay, I think, where it needs to be. But definitely will incentivize the younger ones to get certified, to work hard. It's not an easy thing to get, especially with the EPA. These programs are intended to protect the public health, environmental quality, and the financial investment of all of our facilities, including water main, wastewater plants, water treatment plants. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions, specific questions in relation to that.
Any questions? I believe we've all met with him.
It's just amazing how much more technical things are, how much more paperwork there is, what's required of our help from EPA and all that. It's amazing what Scott has to do in the gas department. I mean, it's just on and on and on. I think it's great that you are incentivizing these guys to get the qualifications they need. So I like it.
Thank you. If not, call the roll.
Mennel,
Yes.
Hilliard,
Yes.
Parrot,
Yes.
Blunier, Leach.
Yes.
Motion carries.
That's all I have tonight, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Village trustees, anyone have anything? If not, I ask for adjournment.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Thanks to all of you coming tonight.